If you're ready and you know it,
I'm
clap
ready.
your hands.
Okay, so I'm ready. Are you ready?
Never been more ready.
Yesterday we went to Cloudflare, right?
Yes, Cloudflare office.
Cloudflare office. Amazing office. Big, interesting space.
Yeah.
Very Google-like, I would say.
What when you think about a Silicon Valley startup, this is what you probably imagine.
Yeah.
That their office look like.
Yes, it's a creative space. A lot of interesting things, like for example, you could get a kombucha from a tap, right? Or like how it's called, like lemon water, right? With all different flavors.
Yeah, different chemicals in your water. Yeah.
So it was interesting office, and there was a hackathon. It was real-time voice and multimodal AI.
Organized by the AI Engineering Foundation by Sasha.
Yeah, pretty great experience. There was 26, 30 teams, I think.
Initially, 26 submitted the projects, but as we went, it increased to 32 or 31. So they were past the time, I guess.
So a lot of people were hacking till very end. I've seen like some of the submissions were submitted after the deadline.
Yeah, long after the
deadline. We had a chance to finish a bit earlier. So maybe we could discuss what we built. So we've seen, like a couple of days ago, there was this presentation by Vercel during Google Cloud Next event.
Yeah, about Gemini.
About Gemini, and Guillermo, CEO of Vercel, was showcasing this like a generative UI tool or application where you could like pull from different sources React components, right? For example, a list of flights, or like essentially other like things from internet. You could imagine that you could buy books for using that, and so that was the idea. And when he was presenting that, he was using the regular
mouse and keyboard,
regular LLM interface. And we decided that we could maybe improve a little bit that, and we could switch the typing to voice. Yep. And why voice is important? I mean, why it's better with voice, in your opinion?
I'm not sure if it's better. It was interesting to do it. But I mean, for me, it probably would be easier to use mouse anyway. Yeah. But for people with, I don't know, movement impairment or sight impairment, it probably would be easier to use voice. And right now, similar tools exist, but they only allow for very mechanical, computer-like navigation. Like you can tell the computer, click the second button, or I don't know, click the link that's on the center of the screen. But we went, I think, a few steps further, because you could say to the computer, book a flight at 2:40 p.m. and it did that. So natural language processing and natural language communication with the computer, and it understood the commands, and and it worked. I think it went pretty well.
It was pretty interesting, yeah. I think we had some troubles presenting the final presentation. Was a bit hectic, I would say. We had some problems with the sound, and so I was wondering if they really catch the whole idea we had. But anyway, yeah, we built that, and
we got a huge help from Deepgram, actually.
Exactly.
We were using the API provided by Deepgram. It's a company that's older than OpenAI, actually, as we learned. And there was this person from Deepgram, Damian Murphy.
Yeah, thanks for helping us.
Yeah. He helped us like a bunch with because we were dealing with this problem of delay or latency. We are using like standard API. We had some experience with Open API, so we used the same approach with Deepgram, where we record a piece of voice, and then we submit it to the after it's recorded, we submit it to the API. But it turned out it's the latency is just too annoying. The UX was not perfect.
It's too much, right?
Yeah. So he showed us a better way to do it, to open a WebSocket connection, and then we could stream the audio in real time without almost no delay. Like the delay was not noticeable anymore, and it was processed so fast.
Yeah, I was impressed. So because at the beginning I was just thinking that Deepgram is just this like a alternative to what OpenAI is doing. Yeah. But they have much more in terms of features.
Yeah, they obviously do speech to text and text to speech.
Yeah, that's like core feature. But then they have a lot of things around that. So for example, when we started hacking on this, so we were like reading before the hackathon, the night before, we were preparing for the hackathon, reading the docs. And one problem we wanted to solve is this like voice interface, where when you start talking and the LLM responds, you can like interrupt with your voice. So like with human, right? Yes. What we are doing right now. So I'm saying something, you interrupt me.
And you stop.
And I stop.
Usually.
Exactly. I stop and I'm just taking into account what you just said, right?
Yes.
So we wanted to reproduce that, the same, let's say, behavior or the same situation with AI. And it's pretty complicated to build that, right? Using the browser API or just the tools we had. And Deepgram provides that out of the box.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah,
it's close. They're working on improving as we learned, the DX even further, but it's close to out of the box.
So that was pretty interesting. They also do things like sentiment analysis.
Yeah, intent analysis.
So
summarization.
Exactly.
What else? The topic they could.
Extract the topic. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting, and we just learned that almost at the end of the hackathon, right? all about all those features. But anyway, we are thinking about integrating Deepgram into one of our projects, the one that we will be doing during the course 120 AI. There's one project about voice specifically, and I think Deepgram fits this scenario pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think it will be perfect. And we'll be using WebSockets for that because it's just impaired. How do you say it in English? That the user experience is just it's hard to compare to the REST API.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Incomparable.
Incomparable, maybe. Yeah, that could be a good word here.
I had another word in mind, but it's on the tip of my tongue. So
let's quickly discuss the
winners.
The results of
the hackathon.
Yesterday hackathon. So there were like free spots. So the first, maybe let's stop from the bottom. The third place, it was a podcast.
Maybe let's talk about the prizes first.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the prizes.
So the third prize, do you remember what was the third prize?
$600.
Yeah, or
what was it?
Mini projector, I think.
Yeah, exactly. A mini projector.
So you could pick money or the thing, and the second prize was
2,000. Right.
Do you remember the object?
Yeah, it was the GPU NVIDIA RTX
4090.
Yeah, 4090.
Very expensive, very good.
Yeah.
And the first prize was Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Or $3,500.
Yeah. And the winner. So the third place was a person. It was a project called iPod, but it's not the iPod like Apple's iPod, but it was a tool for podcasting.
Yeah, iPodcast.
iPodcast, yeah, and it was something that allowed you to be more efficient when consuming podcasts.
Yeah, I think it was just. I don't really know what it does. But the presentation was pretty good, so yes. I guess he won because of the presentation. Also, the tool seemed useful.
Yeah,
I mean, it generated text out of the podcast, and then you could probably build on top of that.
And the second place was a project called Wake Me Up, right?
Yeah, but why was it called Wake Me Up? I don't get the name.
Because they were showing during the demo, they were showing this like a situation where you wake up. and you want to be, and they were like showing you can discuss with your like the upcoming day with avatar, and in that case it was Taylor Swift.
Oh, right.
And she could like wake you and tell you something nice to get you energized for the day.
Yeah, but did she? I mean, she was kind of mean on the demo. Do you remember that?
Yes.
She was asking questions like, "Are you really out of bed?"
Yeah.
So that did not work out.
Let me just check. Should I go
Straight.
straight? Okay. Yeah. It's very complicated to drive here.
You can enable the auto drive and
Yeah, I could maybe do that. And yeah, so Tesla decided to switch the lane.
and yeah, so it was like a psychotherapy kind of thingy by the LLM.
And an interesting thing was that the image, the Taylor Swift image or video,
Yeah, was generated.
was generated and moving, right? It was like like a face of a person that
And it looked
connects with you.
creepy.
It looks very creepy. Yeah, it was interesting.
And the first prize,
Yeah, the first prize was
Apple Vision Pro,
Apple
went to person who actually had Apple Vision Pro.
and used Apple Vision Pro to create the project.
Yeah.
So what?
Allegedly.
So what they did, they had this like 3D space because she connected to the monitor, right, using the Apple Vision Pro, so we could see what she's seeing. So she had this like a space, 3D space with blocks like cubes, and will Tesla change the lane? Okay.
It does.
And then she arranged the cubes with different colors, and she asked, "What's the image about?"
Yeah.
And
it generated some random image unrelated to the cubes. Nobody knew what's going on. And then she won.
yeah, but the image was 3D, right? I mean, it was more like an object.
At first, it was flat, and then it generated a model out of it. So generation of the model out of the image was cool, but I don't understand the relation to the cubes at the beginning.
Yeah, I think the cubes were more like the. Yeah,
It was like for me, it looked like it's seed for the random number generator.
okay.
But it's probably not true.
I was thinking more that the cubes were showing potential, like a shape of
Maybe.
of the object that is going to be created. And she just took this like a 3D thing and throw it into the audience. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. This person was whenever I was watching her, she was always wearing Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, at all time.
All the time. So it was funny, in a positive way. I mean.
Really?
No. I mean, it's like she was very into this technology.
Yeah, futures now.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this.
A true early adopter, I would say. And yeah, that was the hackathon, the winners. Interesting experience. I think we can stop here.
Yep.
What we did. Yeah, we are leaving the meetup from that happened in the GitHub office.
Yeah, this is the GitHub office, pretty great office, and there was
amazing space.
There was a meetup called Unstructured Data. So
San
there
Francisco.
were San Francisco. There were 3 talks, and we met Lori.
Yeah, Laurie Voss. It's amazing. It's like my hero figure, so to say.
So yeah,
It's not a figure of speech.
so the 3 talks were amazing. We didn't We don't want to stay for the networking because we are heading to another meetup, which is happening
Close by, but we'll drive about 3 minutes maybe.
And it's about LLM evaluations. So we'll see you
Yeah,
there.
see you there.